Hey friends, and welcome to the Revive Everyday Living podcast.
We are your hosts, Courtney
and Sharaya, and we're talking everything from life situations, relationships,
friendships, and parenting,
and all our adventures.
So stick around because
we are getting real.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
So I know that we come on here week after week and we say the same thing. We say, Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
But I want to talk about something today, and I want to talk about what happens when it's not a happy Friday.
Ooh.
When it's not a good Friday.
Ooh.
When you're saying, Courtney and Sharaya, no, it is not a good Friday. I am not happy. You do not know the hell of a week I've had and the battles that I'm facing. I'm wondering where God is, and I do not see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's what I want to talk about today.
That's too much. I don't want to talk.
It's not a happy Friday. It is a happy Friday, but some days it's just not. It's not. And I want to say that the majority of our unhappiness is usually formed, if not all the time, in our thoughts.
Yes.
Our thoughts become our words, and our words become our actions. And it really made me think about a story in the Bible about the woman with the issue of the blood.
Mm-hmm.
And if y'all don't know the story, it's in Mark chapter 5. And it's a lady, and we don't even know her name. All she's known for is her issue. And she's been bleeding for years and years and years. She's been an outcast. But she knows that Jesus is going to be walking into town. And she tells herself, if I can just touch the hem of his garment, I'll be healed. And so many times we read that story and we say, oh, her faith healed her. That's what healed her. But where did her faith come from in the very first place? And if we read and really dive into it more, we see that she says she thought that if she could touch the hem of his garment, she would be healed. So while it was her faith that healed her, it was really her thoughts that healed her in the very first place.
Started with the thought.
Yeah. You know, so many times we say, I am so depressed. I am so lonely. I have all this anxiety. I am so mad. I am this. I am that. And we are really calling ourselves things that we should never say. Yes, you may be dealing with depression. Yes, you may be dealing with anxiety. But when you start to proclaim and claim that and declare that over yourself, how is that forming the rest of your day? How is that forming your life? It's those words that formed in our thoughts that created our unhappy Fridays. Mm-hmm. Our pastor said one time, and it really stuck with me, that we cannot control the thoughts that come into our mind, but we can control what we allow to stay. So many times when we're facing these trials and we're facing these battles in our mind and thoughts and stuff like that, how many of those thoughts are you allowing to stay? And what are you thinking and allowing to stay? So how do you deal with when you're not having a happy Friday?
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh my.
You're my only co-host. You're all I have.
But we want to ask you guys to, I think that's a good question to pose for yourself. So I'm asking you guys, what do you do when you're not having a good Friday? Or a good day. It doesn't just have to be Fridays. But in those moments where things are happening and you don't really see where God is in a thing, you don't know, you haven't gotten an answer from him, and you're kind of just flying solo, what do? For me, this time with God has really taught me that one, I have to remind myself. And one way of me doing that is through affirmations. I remind myself of what God says about me. And I know, like a few days ago or a week or so ago, I was out on a night swim. One of my friends was like, what is wrong with you? What's going on? Like, you're just not yourself. What's happening? And I said, girl, like, I don't know. It's just bigger than me. I didn't have a description. And I told her, I said, it feels like I'm grabbing my purse and I'm digging in, looking for a chapstick in like your big massive purse, right? And you're looking for that little itty bitty chapstick and all this stuff in your purse, and you're like in the movie theater and you're just digging, trying to find and get your hand on it because you can't really see what's in your bag, but you know what your chapstick feels like. I said, but I'm not searching for chapstick. It feels like I'm searching for depression. I'm searching for anger. I'm searching for these things that I've let go of, but my instinct, like what I'm used to, tells me that's my go-to spot. And so, like, once it came out of my mouth and I said it, it was just like, whew, okay. And then that's when I was able to hear God speak. And he said, go back to what you know. You know that when you hear negative, you replace it with positive. And what did I say about you? Not about the situation, because I thought, like, I got hung up into the situation. What did you say about this situation? And I couldn't find my situation and the particulars of my situation in the Word of God or in other people to where I had a strong, oh, God said. So he didn't ask me about my situation. He asked me, what did I say about you?
Ooh, about you.
And I was like, ooh, okay. So then I go to my, into my mirror, and I was just writing, like, I am an amazing mother. I am an authentic woman. I can live in the authentic me. I am a administrator. I can manage and juggle multiple tasks, multiple businesses, multiple assignments. I'm ambidextric. I'm not just one-sided. There's, sides to me, and God has perfected all things concerning me. So I'm like writing this on my mirror, and every day it was like I was looking, and once I got strong and I was amazing, or I am authentic, and I'm an amazing mother, I'm an amazing wife, I can juggle, I'm a business owner, I make multi-million dollars. Like, all of those things was on my mirror. And as I got strong in each one, I would wipe it off, and I would wipe it off. And so then it was like, okay, my list is dwindling, I'm getting stronger, but I still felt like it was something was bigger than me, a negative force, a negative thing that wanted to ruin my days was still swimming in, like, creating waves that were bigger than me. And it drew me into worship. And it was just one song for the past few weeks, and it's Your Presence is Like Heaven to Me. The version that I've been listening to is by Israel Houghton. I don't know how to say his name, in New Breed, but it just has been reminding me when I get in that moment of I feel like I want to be depressed, or I feel like I'm not good enough, or I feel like I'm rejected, or I feel like, that I'm alone. I'm singing that song, and it's like, ooh, your presence. Lord, your presence is like heaven. And I'm bringing heaven down into that space of what my thoughts are saying to me. Mm-hmm. And it just is like balancing me out. And it's like, ooh, okay. Your presence is here. Now I can remind myself that I am amazing, that I am a child of God, that I am the apple of your eye. Like, that is my favorite thing. When I tell myself that, I get a level of confidence that's out of this world. It's like, I am the apple of God's eye, okay? Like, baby, you better know who you're looking at, because if he's looking at me with a sparkle, what's your problem? Right. So that little moment, but I am I'm not easy to forget that I have those days that is just not the day. I didn't wake up with it. I didn't wake up with the affirmation on my mind. I couldn't see my mirror clearly. It just was, it wasn't it. But when I get into worship and when I'm reminded of just that, your heaven, your presence is heaven to me. Just that simple piece. Nothing big, nothing fabulous. Just that your presence is like heaven was that simple reminder that brought me back to a space of, okay, this is how you can make it through these times. And I'm going to tell you, let's just be real, because that's what we do here. Nothing changed. My situation didn't change.
Nope.
I opened my eyes and we were still right there. After I wiped my tears, I was still in the same situation. But it was a manageable moment.
Right.
It was a moment that I could manage, that I could continue, and I could put a smile that wasn't a fake smile, that I could get myself together, and it wasn't a halfway look. I was still fabulous in these streets, okay? But so it just was, though, that is what makes all the difference. It doesn't, when I stop looking for a change in my situation and started looking for a change in me, it made the world of a difference. And a few weeks ago, Apostle Brian Meadows, he said, he was talking about being the authentic you. And he said, it almost felt like an encouragement to me to encourage me to allow God to introduce me to me. And he said, when you get to a space where you allow God to introduce you to you, then that's a level of authenticity, right? And that's a level of where you experience new. I've been in that moment of like, okay, I stopped looking for situations to change and I started looking for me to change. And what was the change in me? And so then that created a space for God to introduce me to a new me, and a different me, a new level in me. So when I'm searching my bag, it's the old me wrestling with the new me. So the old me is searching for that moment that my go-to is depressed. My go-to is, okay, shut the world out. Go to your room. It's you and your kids. That's it. Phone off, in the bed, no contact with the outside world. You just do you, boo. But the new me is like, your presence is like heaven to me. Everything that's going on around me, I'm not looking for a change. God, you got this. And I'm moving, I'm shaking, I'm still producing. Everything my hands touch, I am producing. But it's a different me. Yeah. And that moment, or these moments that I'm learning to embrace, it's really scary to completely let go, but to thing that has me excited about it and has been pushing me and encouraging me to do it more is because I've committed this entire summer to trying new things. And I mean, it was completely random how we got to this moment. It was like a real moment. I said something on the podcast and Courtney was like, now you know you got to do it. And I was like, wait, what did I say? You're not going to delete that? And she did it. So now I had to be a woman of my word, right? Yeah. And it snowballed from trying sushi to like a million things now. I've committed myself to new. And so as I experience new things, it's so much easier for me to experience a new version of me and to be okay with a new version of me. Like that spiritual side and the natural side is coinciding. It's colliding there where I'm not only trying pineapple for the first time, I'm also meeting this new version of Shreya for the first time, and I'm okay with it. And I'm exploring it, and I'm like, okay. So then I'm eating bananas And now in this...
And crickets.
Oh, yeah. And crickets, bananas, crickets, and hot sauce. I mean, and salsa. And then on the spiritual side of things, I am bringing heaven down while I'm okay with my situation not changing. I'm okay with not being a fixer. I'm okay with, I can't fix it, so okay. Yeah. Your heaven, your presence is still just like heaven to me. Mm-hmm. Like, you are still amazing, and I'm not questioning so many things, but that's a new version. That's a new place that he has me exploring. But if I would never have said yes to experiences and gotten comfortable with trying new things multiple times, then I wouldn't be as comfortable as I am trying something new in this spirit. And I think that it's just very ironic, I guess the word would be, or very interesting that God will allow you to do something in the natural that he's trying to do in the spiritual, or he will allow you to do something in the spiritual realm that he's trying to bring out into your natural realm. And when you titter between the two and you look at God in both spaces, it's just a renewing moment. It's a space where you can take a deep breath and you can say, even when it's not the day, today is not the day. Mm-hmm. You are still amazing. I am still experiencing something new. I'm going to take a deep breath in you. Mm-hmm. And I'm not focused on my situation changing, but I'm focused on the changes that you're doing in me.
I love that. And I love the way you just said right now, it's a whole renewing. It's a renewing of your whole entire mind, your whole entire lifestyle. And in your thoughts, you changed your thoughts of negative things by your affirmations, by your worship, by saying, okay, I can't change this situation, but I can grow from it.
Speaking of growing, Courtney.
Girl. Tell me.
So, you know how we're growing these businesses out in these streets?
Yes.
I have been so busy that I have not had a lot of time to keep up with the laundry.
So tell us what you found, Shreya.
Okay, so
is this a real good find?
It's a real good find, girl. It's a real good find.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys that I am partially embarrassed. However, we keep it real over here, and I got to tell y'all about.
You can help somebody. You can help somebody.
Yes, I pray this helps you, and you don't laugh at me. Okay. So, I had a pile of laundry. I mean, it was a high pile. Okay, a whole pile. And I went on vacation. I washed clothes and I put them in the pile. And then I went on vacation again and I washed and I put it in the pile. And
then I went to work.
Yeah.
And I put it in the pile. Then we went on our everyday business and you put it in the pile. Yeah. Anyway, I get it.
Yeah. It was.
Well, remember when we were talking about growth last time and I was like, I've never been good at laundry?
Yes.
That was our... Okay, keep going.
Yes.
Keep going.
So Courtney told y'all she wasn't good, but I didn't say nothing. I was very, very quiet. But now I'm gonna let my dirty laundry out.
Literally.
And it was a pile of clothes. It was just a ridiculous amount of clothes, right? And so I've been on the hunt for a housekeeper, but I didn't want just any housekeeper. I wanted one that was very good with laundry because I like my sheets and my towels folded a particular way, and my clothes. I don't like it sloppy in my drawers. I finally found one. So I'm going to tell y'all all about them, guys.
Tell them.
Clean It 210 is really amazing. She was affordable. Not only does she do the laundry, because our first visit with her, she just did my laundry only and organized a few things, but she also cleans that whole house top to bottom, and she has different packages. So whatever level you are on, she can meet your needs. So I am very excited about this company that I have found. They are a Black-owned business here in San Antonio, and they are on the northeast side, but they do travel, and their travel fee is very minimum. It was like $15, and I live like pretty far out, and generally my service fee is like $50. So she's a real good find. Clean It 210. Follow them and book their services, okay? They were punctual, they were neat, and they were clean. Because sometimes you get a housekeeper that ain't clean and you trying to figure out how they gonna clean your house.
Yeah.
She was not any of that. She was neat, she was clean, she had a team, and they were very, very professional.
I like that. I'm gonna have to check them out too.
Yes, girl.
So we'll link them there on our stories on our Instagram page, Revive Everyday Living. Go follow us if you don't already. So we've been talking about adventures and things that we've been doing, and I want to share with you guys one of my real good finds, and it is actually a bag. It is called a Marchway floating waterproof dry bag, and we went out to the river the other day, and we took this bag and we put our phones in there, we put our keys in there, we put our wallets in there, and it's just a lightweight backpack kind of thing, and it's made from this type of material, and you just fold it over, you clip it, and it keeps everything dry inside, and it comes in different sizes. The one that I got was the 10 liter, and it was big enough to store a towel, 2 towels actually, a shirt, our phones, our wallets, and it actually fell out of the kayak. It fell out of the kayak into the river, and when we got back to land, everything was dry. So it is super cool. It can float on the water. It doesn't drown. It's perfect for boating, kayaking, paddling, canoeing, surfing if you're on the beach, all things like that. So we will link it there in our stories.
Weren't we in the Brazilian jungle?
We were in the Amazon.
The Amazon?
Amazon, ma'am. Yes, we were.
We were somewhere.
So, y'all, even in the Amazon, it works. So go get you one. Check out Clean It 210, all linked in our stories. And like always, we just want to tell you thank you, thank you, thank you. And until next time, keep it real. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Revive Everyday Living.
Be sure to subscribe, comment, and share.
Also, follow us on Instagram and Facebook.